Hi everyone, so it's the end of another week, so that means it's time to talk about the book that I've been reading this week. It's been a kind of a crazy week this week, lots of stuff going on in work and everything, but as you probably will know, various celebrities have passed away this week, and it's really sucked, and I've been really upset about the loss of the comedian Victoria Wood. First, uh, you know, first time a celebrity has died and I've cried about it. I was really upset about her loss and everything. So I've kind of been spending my evenings watching comedy DVDs in the evening and having a chuckle and having a good memory of all the stuff that she did and how amazing she was. So because of that, it's meant I've hardly read this week. So I've pretty much read this book today. So I had quite a few pages to read today, but I suppose I read a good chunk yesterday, but not like today. I think I read about maybe a quarter to a third of it yesterday, and I've read the rest today. So the book I have been reading is a reread this week, and it is Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief by Riodan. Now, if you haven't come across the Percy Jackson books before, Percy Jackson is a boy who has ADHD and he's dyslexic, and he lives in New York with his mum. And he's been expelled from a lot of schools. Lots of strange things happen to him each time he's at one of these schools, and he doesn't quite understand what's going on. His dad, he's told, left when he was young, so he's never known him. He's only known his mum, and he's got a horrible stepdad. But he soon discovers that he is not human. Well, he's half human. His father is in fact one of the gods, the Greek gods, and it's all about him learning about who he is and all this. He goes to a camp called Camp Half-Blood, where he meets loads of other children who have the same situation, where one of their family members is a Greek god, and along the way it's discovered that an artifact, in this case a lightning bolt, as the title plainly says, has been stolen, and it's all about them trying to find out who stole the lightning bolt and try to recover it before the world gets torn apart by the gods who are fighting over it. So, as I said, it's a reread. I first read the Percy Jackson books, I think it must be about 3 years ago now, and I really liked them, but I haven't read them since. So it was nice to go back and reread the books, and there was lots of little things in this book that I completely forgot about. So it was really fun to revisit those moments. When it comes to the actual writing itself, I think Rick was very clever in how he wrote this. He's kept it simple, obviously because it's targeted for, I think, about, kind of like the 10 to 12-year-old range, so obviously it's not really complex and all that lot, but still it tells you a lot about Greek mythology. He always explains the different characters and their backgrounds and how they link with other characters in a very clever way in conversations and such. He's not just literally giving you pages and pages and pages of understanding, okay, he's related to her because this happened to this and this, and by the way, you need to know that he used to date her and he went off this quest and this happened. So he just fills in the details when you need them, and in a very easy and understandable way. But it doesn't detract from the story. It still keeps it flowing. It's still got a really good pace to it. The characters are really great as well. I have to say, really, thumbs up, really happy with, and again, rereading her has been absolutely brilliant. The character of Annabeth, who is one of Percy's friends from the camp. She's one of the trio of Percy, obviously Annabeth, and Grover, the big three, as it were, the friends of the story. And she is a very interesting character because her mother is Athena, who is a goddess of wisdom, and she, because when one of these, they're known as demigods, these children of that half human and half god, the god or goddess who is their, half of their DNA, as it were, doesn't get to grow up with them. So they're completely out of the picture. As I said, Percy, he was told his dad walked out years and years before, and yeah, so he's never known him. So same thing has happened with Annabeth. She's never known her mum, and her relationship with her dad is very, very, very strained, to the point where she's been at the camp for 5 years in total, constantly. She hasn't left the camp since. And it's very sad, but it's also, I love her strength and how she can be quite vulnerable at times, and how it doesn't hold her back. It does. She manages to persevere on. She's a really really great role model, I think, Annabeth, and I think there should be more emphasis on her. Kind of like, I know obviously this is very different for like Harry Potter, but still it is the same kind of structure, 3 friends, 2 boys, 1 girl. They're not technically in a, well, they're different from other people. I was going to say technically human, but then Harry, Ron, Hermione are human, but so yeah, they're different from regular folk. They go off to a place where they can train and learn to accept who they are and everything. So when you hear it that way, it sounds very much like Harry Potter. And I would really like it if Annabeth had the same kind of level of being a hero / heroine, should I say, for kids, because as Hermione does in the Harry Potter series, because she's brilliant, she's fantastic. She comes up with the best ideas. She's, as I said, she's not she is a little restrained from showing a vulnerable side, but she talks about things with Percy, and she has these issues with her family that they don't prevent her from being the good person that she is, and the really good friend to Percy, and I love her for that. When it comes to the actual story itself, reading, obviously I'm an adult, I'm a child, it's like the Harry Potter books. Just because I'm older, that doesn't mean that I find this kiddish and silly and stupid and stuff like that. I found it really enjoyable, and as I said, I've read like 200 odd pages today of this book to finish it, and I found it very easy reading, but that doesn't mean that it was so easy that I felt that, oh god, this is really boring, why am I doing this, and my mind is switching off, because it wasn't like that at all. I kept totally with the story. I thought it was really, really great read. So Rick is one of those writers, again, kind of like J.K. Rowling, where it doesn't matter your age, you can still thoroughly enjoy this book, and it's still, you'll see things that you didn't see the other way, the previous read, or as you grow up, if you read it as a child and then read it later, you'll see things that you didn't see before. It's really, really well written. So I would strongly recommend Rick Riordan's Percy Jackson novels. So overall, great pace to it. Really enjoyed it. Rereading it, I found I kept on being drawn to the character of Grover, who is a satyr. He's Percy's best friend. Now, when Percy's in school, before he finds out that he is a demigod, he has his friend Grover is. He has problems with his legs. He's got muscular disease, so he wears crutches and such, so he can't walk around and run around very well. And then when he comes to Camp Half-Blood, they realise, that's why he can't, walk around very well and all that noise, because he's got goat legs, so and automatically Percy accepts him no matter what, and Grover accepts Percy no matter what. It's really, really great relationship and friendship that the two of them have, and going forward, the stuff that they do for each other is absolutely fantastic, and I think that should be a really great thing, kind of a role model attribute that really should be made more of a focus on, be more aware of. Obviously these books were massive, and they did make a film of of this book. Unfortunately, they completely botched it up. But so it is globally recognised, these books. But I kind of wish that they had more of a more of a wider audience, maybe. That's the word I'm trying to say. I hate it when you can't think of words only right when you need them. Than what they do, and therefore be more well known in the public eye. I'm not saying it has to be up to the level of Harry Potter where everybody gets every single reference, but still, because of the attributes and the really positive way that people are portrayed in these books, I really think that it should have more of an audience, should I say. Okay, so I'm going to stop there. So that's what I thought on The Lightning Thief. I have done a review of the film that relates to this book as a separate video before, so I'm not going to talk about it in this video, but I'll put a link to it in the description section of this video. So if you want to take a look and hear what I think about the film, then please do click on that link. So I'm going to stop now as usual and make a separate video about what my next book will be. And obviously, because I'm reading a series, I'm going to be reading the next one in the series. And just so that you know, just for the next few weeks, obviously, because it's a series, I'm going to do just as I did with the other series where that I've read it, because it's a continuing story that I'm going to have to talk about a bit more in depth than I would just a general one-off book read. So I'll be do kind of like an overall, kind of like what I've done in this video, and then talk about certain elements a lot more in depth, and thus plus possibly give you some more spoilers. So this is kind of like the overall video in a sense for this book, and then it'll go more in depth as the next book's come along. So anyway, I'll be back soon with the next video of what the next book will be, and I guess I'll see you later. Bye!